Hello, hello, my wonderful people. Welcome back. Today we continue talking about the movie The Holiday. And last time, if you missed it, we talked about the character of Iris, Kate Winslet. If you haven't watched that one, please go there and watch that one first. Today we talk about Amanda. So, who is Amanda? Our first impression is that she's this amazing, strong, independent woman, like woman of iron, the one who overcomes all the issues, who can't be hurt in any possible way, and even the worst things that happen to her don't bother her, right? That's our first impression. But it is pretty misleading. Of course, it is absolutely not true. And throughout the movie, we learn more and more about her, and we figure out that all this success, independency, it's all the facade to cover that poor, vulnerable little girl inside of her. So, what do we see in the beginning? The movie starts with her finding out about her boyfriend, I assume her fiance, cheating on her with some younger woman of like 24-ish years old. And it looks again amazing to all the women, probably how she treats him, how she slams the door in his face, and then she runs and punches him in the face. So it is pretty satisfying for all the women who were betrayed in the history of womanhood and relationships. But in real life, again, it's not that simple. And behind all this, I don't care, get out, I'll send your things to you. There is lots and lots of pain, of emotions that were suppressed, that were never expressed properly. And unfortunately, for 20 years, they have been storing and storing and storing. And as we will see, led to a lot of problems. Today I will try to be shorter in my story because I think the Iris review turned out to be an hour and a half. So today, let's keep it simple, let's keep it straight. So, what usually lies behind this facade of strong, independent woman? Of course, it is just an armor. It is just an armor, and we very soon, in the first 5 minutes of the movie, we understand that she is completely detached from her emotions, and she can't handle emotions in the healthy way because all this punching and running away and slamming the doors, it seems as if it is a healthy expression of emotions and dealing and coping with emotions. Kind of she lets them out. She is not quietly crying, sobbing in her apartment like Iris does. But in reality, it is not the case. And we see how she has all kinds of spasms, like her body is functioning in a weird way. So she has the chest pain, she has like muscles cramping, and she's all like red stained. And then when her friend and colleague comes and asks like, "Are you okay?" she instantly, "I'm okay." So she doesn't let her emotions to process. Unlike Iris, remember last time we talked about it, and Iris for hours cries and cries in her apartment, in her house, and that is actually a healthier way to deal with your emotions. Amanda has this blast for 3 seconds, and then she instantly suppresses this fire. Yes, like, and she just calms herself down. But then her body lets her know through these spasms, through these issues, that the problem stays. The problem, unfortunately, stays. So, for her, not for everybody, obviously, specifically for women like her, this strength and this independency and this coldness, emotionless, is only an armor and the mechanism to cope with problems. And later in the movie, we see that her issues are much more than some spasm in the chest. She is completely detached from her body, and she is in this mixer of activities, mixer of constant thinking, of constant jumping from one thing to another, and she has zero ability to relax, unfortunately. And again, in the movie, it looks funny, it looks cute, it looks adorable. In real life, it is a tragic situation, and her body is screaming alarm that it's time to do something, because more life like that and health issues will be inevitable. So remember that scene. No, let's actually start with the one on the plane. She says, I keep buying these books and I never read. Because what is reading? What is the process of reading? It is the quiet space. It's the moment of calm, especially if you read the paperback book. It's again sensational thing. You touch the papers, you slowly go there and read page after page in silence and quiet. So it's the moment when you are alone with yourself. And Amanda, unfortunately, avoids every possible, like every second that potentially can lead to her being with herself alone. She avoids it. And unfortunately, it happens very often with people who had to deal with some kind of a loss. It can be divorce, it can be unfortunately death of the loved ones. In her case, I assume later she says in the movie it was her father leaving her. So it's kind of like a syndrome of Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind, when she's like, no, I'm not going to think about it now, I'll think about it tomorrow. And all the time she's like, I'll think about it later, I think about it later, not now I'm too busy. But not to think about it, that problem. You have to create business artificially, because otherwise you will be alone with yourself and you will have to think about those thoughts. So unfortunately, people like this, they even fall asleep, plug in headphones in their ears, saying, I have troubles with sleeping. So they would turn on some lecture or some podcast or maybe some music, something with speech, some audiobook, not the white noise, but specifically some voices, people talking, some information, anything to distract them from potential unpleasant thinking. And it becomes such a habit that people just think that, oh, I can't fall asleep without it. But behind it, there is the problem with, again, coping with some kind of a pain from the past. So on the plane, she finally has time, and she even brings all those books in the business class. She's comfortable, but look what she's reading. Not some classic literature. Again, she's reading some fashion magazine, basically the trash content. It is a pretty old movie, so Reels and TikToks did not exist. I guarantee if it were a movie from 2025 or 2020, she will be scrolling, doom scrolling, just distract yourself from reality. But back then, the alternative, instead of some smart book, she reads short articles, she consumes stuff to instantly jump from one place to another. What happens when she does come into that quiet, isolated, but specifically quiet place where she doesn't have all those DVDs to distract herself with? She doesn't know what to do. She does everything in the first couple hours. She walks around. She instantly goes to town because she needs to keep moving. She can't even stay home. She drives somewhere. She starts buying stuff. There is no need for that. But because she can't be alone, this is what she is doing. And after a couple of hours, she gives up instantly. So she's ready to go back home. It is so unbearable for her to be alone. And when she goes to the store, it's a hilarious, again, scene. Kind of she buys everything, she drinks right there in the store and then goes home driving. Excuse me, I'm kind of what? But okay. Not a healthy behavior, and something tells me that she might have an eating disorder, because She is in the situation of stress. She just broke up with her fiance, who I assume they were supposed to get married pretty soon. But she's not dealing with it in a healthy way. So she just eats sweets, she drinks, she screams songs. It is okay to do that when you are in your early 20s. When you are a woman of 35-ish years old, and I assume she's in her 30s, that is not a healthy behavior. It shows that you cannot cope with your emotions, and again, you are damaging your body through this strange behavior. So, in her relationships, later we will talk more about specifically two relationships she has in this movie, but in general, counterdependency. If Iris is the codependent person who just basically like almost like a parasite-ish style, she can't survive without a partner. People like Amanda, it's the opposite. She pretends, and it's not even pretending. She truly believes that she does not need that. She does not need the emotional connection, the deep, true relationship. Unfortunately, this comes usually from some, again, deep trauma. And you can read more about the attachment styles. There's a lot of information about it. This avoidant attachment style, all that stuff. So for people like Amanda, they truly believe that they don't need a partner. That's why it is so difficult for their partners to be with them. Unfortunately, these people, more than anyone else, they do need it. But to get through that armor, it's almost impossible until they themselves try to do something with it, try to heal. For a partner from outside, almost impossible to knock through that concrete armor of theirs. So she lives in the belief that she doesn't need anyone. These people are usually very successful at work. They are very charismatic and socially very active. Friends love them. They're all over the place. But specifically, deep emotional connection doesn't happen for them. People like Amanda. If last time we talked about Iris and we talked about how she's a walking sun, sunshine, sunlight, warmth for everybody else, people like Amanda, I would call energizer type of people. These people are extremely active. They need action, they need adrenaline. These people are adrenaline junkies. They are the ones that go somewhere and they will try all the crazy stuff. They will be the ones jumping with parachutes, doing all kinds of dangerous stuff. Any opportunity for risk, for excitement, they are there. In terms of appearance, they are usually very charismatic. They go into the room and attention instantly goes to them. They know how to seduce people naturally, not sexually. I mean, just they are naturally drawn, like kind of you can't resist these people. They're just so attractive in terms of how they carry themselves. It's not about physical looks, but usually these people are good looking too. But it's about something about their energy. So these people are always the center of attention and everybody wants to be around them, but not in a close relationship. Not in a close relationship, because in personal relationship, these people are usually the most difficult to deal with. So they prefer speed, they prefer action, intensity. Everything should be intense. And remember, even the work she does, what is the trailer? She does movie trailers. You basically cut the most intense parts of the movie to sell the movie. So you need to take if it's an action movie, like the most amount of action, like so the trailer is usually much more active and crazy than the actual film. So even in her work, that is what she is doing. She's like, and she's good at it. She's good at it like nobody else, and she keeps emphasizing it. So financially, these people are very successful. They through this ability to risk, they take opportunities, while other people will measure everything, think about it 20 times. These people take action, and even if they fail 1, 2, 3 times, that other person is still thinking of even trying something, but they already made 3 mistakes, they learned from their mistakes, and the fourth time everything clicks and they get amazing results. So because they are willing to jump into action and do stuff and make mistakes and take risk, they are very successful. They usually have their own businesses, or if it's a stay-at-home mom of this type, they are the best managers. Their kids are always like everywhere, smart, successful, because mom is able to organize it that way. So it is their positive side. Downsides of people like that, they are very impatient with people around them, because being this energizer battery, like this dude, why can't you, blah blah blah, they kind of overestimate people around them, because usually people like Amanda assume that everybody else is exactly like them, and naturally they are attracted to people of a different kind, of people like Iris, somebody emotional, somebody logical, even maybe. And then they are kind of trying to change their partner. Like, why can't you just do this? Just try this. Just do it. Just boom, 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 boom. So they expect everybody around them to be as strong and as active as they are. So in stress, they become very controlling, and they become provocative. These people, if a relationship becomes a little bit like swampy, kind of not much stuff happening, they will artificially create drama. They will spread some gossip. They will do something just to get this adrenaline. So for their partners, unfortunately, it is very stressful. So despite all this charisma and attractiveness, so it's very hard to be in relationship with these people, especially women like that. We will talk later about what kinds of men Amanda attracts. So they usually push their partners. They push and they create artificial conflicts. Remember last time we talked about the battery we all have. Again, if you didn't watch the Iris review, please go watch that. There I explain what it is. So later at the end of this video, I will explain what to do if I kind of relate to Amanda. But now let's talk more about the origins of why she's like that. So if with Iris we could just speculate, we didn't know what happened to her. With Amanda, we know exactly what happened, because in the scene in the restaurant, she shares that she was very close with her parents, and they even called themselves the Three Musketeers. There was this perfect picture. But I don't know. I am not sure. I'm not sure about that. This whole situation seems a little bit weird. It kind of looks to me that, again, I'm speculating, that her mom was Iris type of a woman, very feeling oriented, very loving, very caring. And her father probably was a very strong, masculine, traditionally masculine, like stereotypically masculine type of a man. And maybe he wanted a son at some point. So it is a common scenario for people like Amanda come from these families where dad was constantly, when she was little, encouraging her to be more boyish, how to pronounce it. Kind of like, you fall and you scratch your knee And you come and you don't cry, and he says like, wow, look at all other girls whining, but our girl is not like that, look how strong she is, kind of encouraging her to be more stern, to be more tough. And since she's the only child, she again thought that this is who she needs to be loved, to be accepted. A very common scenario, but again, kind of who knows, it's a fictional character. So her problem is that she lives in this illusion of an amazing family, and then her bubble breaks, and her father just suddenly leaves. So here, the problem I have with this, she says, it was amazing, it was all perfect, and then one day, suddenly, there is a suitcase with his stuff and he leaves. So what I think was happening, unfortunately, her parents created an artificial scenario for her, and it is the worst thing you can do to your children as a parent, because it's just, the marriage doesn't fall apart in one day. Never ever a good, perfect marriage collapses in one day. It doesn't happen that way. It means something has been happening for a really long time. Maybe her dad was cheating on her mom. We don't know what was going on, but something was already dysfunctional in the family. And I am 100% sure that parents both knew that something was happening. However, they preferred not to discuss it with their daughter. They preferred to create the artificial situation. And why it is damaging for children. For kids usually are very sensitive. They don't know how to fake emotions, how to play tricks like adults do. Kids are usually very body-oriented creatures. They sense stuff. They know stuff through their bodies much more than through their mind. And later, as we grow up, we learn to rely more on our thoughts, on our logic, and unfortunately, we suppress our initial bodily responses. So let's say Amanda, she was probably like sensing something was going on. Maybe parents were arguing in front of her. And then they tell, everything's fine. No, everything is amazing. We're three musketeers. And so what does it teach the daughter? It teaches you not to trust your gut. It teaches you not to trust your feelings. And unfortunately, it's such a mistake from parents' side, because for the rest of her life, she wouldn't have this gut feeling like something is off. And like she sees some man who is obviously bad for her, and she would be like, no. But because in childhood she was taught by her parents not to trust her feelings. So this is where this detachment from body starts, and then later you saw what it led to. So this detachment of the signal from the signals that your body is trying to send you. So anyways, perfect picture, perfect family, broken now. So she probably felt obviously heartbroken, personal betrayal, that even the perfect picture can be destroyed, And also, she probably felt disgusted. She probably felt betrayed in the way that I just mentioned, that they've been lying to her. So she can't trust people anymore. She can't be vulnerable because you think you are in a perfect relationship and you can be stabbed from the back from the most loved person, like your father. So this is something that affects you for the rest of your life if you don't do something with I can't talk today. Do something with it. So what man will women like Amanda choose in the future? She will try to play safe. She will obviously try to play safe. And remember, her father, again, I assume that the mother there was more on the weak side, kind of emotional. And father was probably the one who was super successful, active, blah, blah, blah. So in her relationship, she is probably trying to find someone the opposite somebody who is not like her father. And she will naturally try to like the weak, immature man. Yeah, weak, immature, super romantic, childish even man. She needs to be stronger in this relationship. So who do we have? Who do we have? We have Graham, Graham in Russian. Perfect example. This one will definitely not betray me. This one, loving, caring, amazing, he will not stab me in the back like those other men do, like her father. So what do we do? What do we do here? We start with her relationship with Ethan. And already we kind of see the end of this relationship, and we can only reconstruct it from what he is saying and what she is saying. She is choosing the man who is obviously again on the romantic side, because who is he? He is the composer. Remember from Jack Black, we kind of know that he is the music guy. Again, probably very attached to with his feelings, very creative. But as far as I understand, if he is living with her, not nearly as financially successful as she is. So she instantly chooses the man who is a little bit lower of status, just to be able to be above him. And this is what he says later, like, look at yourself. You are there on the pedestal, and I am here like no one. This is what you are creating. And it is true. It is true, because she is trying to find the safe option, a safe man, the one who, if he does betray her, she would say, whatever, he was not good enough for me anyway, I need somebody better. So she always plays safe, even in case of breakup, so it doesn't bother her that much. And it truly does not bother her. Remember, not once does she even remember him. I think one time she mentions, like, I just broke up to Jude Law, and that's it. So she just now broke up with a person of several years relationship, and she genuinely doesn't care. So what else do we know? We know she drops a phrase that, I'm glad we decided not to get married. So it means what? This guy probably proposed to her, and it was probably done in the most romantic way possible. He's the composer, music guy, romantic guy. So there was probably some beautiful, amazing proposal, but it's not they decided not to get married. Probably she told him, I'm not ready for it. Again, kind of to put him down, to humiliate him a little bit, so he knows his place. What else do we know? She dictates everything he does. She tells him what to do with his house, where to go. So she is the adult here. She is the controlling mother in this relationship. But the paradox is that the more you're looking for a weaker emotionally and like in terms of emotional maturity man, the weaker one you want, the worse he will treat you. The nicest guys, the ones who are, again, not nearly as financially successful as she is, not nearly as, let's say, I don't know, good looking. In English, I guess you say like out of his league type of couple. The more commonly they cheat on that woman because they can't handle this situation, because this control, this pushing, this neglect of the relationship, it leads to rebellion. And unfortunately these people love to connect with each other. These people find one another, and they learn through the hard way. So again, there is no victim blaming, because here nobody is a victim. So it's the situation that was mutually equally created. And something tells me that the same way it will be replayed again with Jude Law if she keeps staying with him after the end of the movie. So I don't believe in the happy ending for this couple. What else do we know? Even though she is this amazing, wonderful woman, he puts her down. Yeah, he comments that she is bad in bed. That stuff kind of tells you again that because he's trying to rebel, to uprise against her, he is the one kind of trying to kind of use a little like needle here and there, try to find the soft spot in that armor and kind of hurt her, put her down to earth a little bit in her greatness, just because he can't match her. So obviously it leads to cheating, and looks like she is even satisfied. Like, look, it's exactly how I wanted this. This is exactly why we didn't get married. This is exactly why. So again, you see, she plays the situation as if she knew in advance, so she isn't hurt. It doesn't matter to her. She knew all in advance. So to her, this probably happened many times before. Unfortunately, very common scenario. So what do we know about her and Graham? I have so many questions for this Graham guy. I don't even know where to start. I don't like him at all. The first time they meet, again, he knows zero boundaries of his sister. In the middle of the night, bangs over the door. Even the viewers of the movie have a heart attack because it's so loud and so out of nowhere. He shows up drunk, telling how he's gonna piss himself. And what is going on? What is going on? Only later we figure out that he is actually a father of two little girls. But he tells a story of how he is running around, kind of whoring around, finding women, never calling them back. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. So he drinks to the point where he's about to pass out. He can't even stand when he gets into the house. He said, "May I sit down?" So I can't imagine how much he drank. And he says it's been going on for several years, and I assume it's happening every week. Just imagine for a second if the roles were reversed. Let's say it's a woman. The woman whose husband dies or leaves her, and what she does, she drops her young daughters, like 5 years old, 7 years old daughters, every week, goes to a local pub, gets drunk to the point where she can't stand straight, finds a man every week, sleeps with them, then ignores their calls or doesn't call back, and every week basically sleeps on the couch in her brother's apartment because she can't drive because she is so crazy drunk. What? If it were a woman character, that wouldn't be an attractive character. Like, what is this behavior? It's irresponsible, it's immature, it's no matter what kind of trauma you have, there are other ways. It's not a positive, like, so I don't know. I really don't like. The only thing that makes him semi-normal with this behavior is that he is good looking. Replace Jude Law with any like some unattractive actor, some unattractive, ugly man. Instantly, like, imagine some, I don't know, like ugly, unpleasant person banging on your door with a terrible breath of like 20 beers that he drank during the night, breathing in her face with this beer smell, probably soaked in cigarette smell. And let's say he is, I don't want to offend anyone, but I don't know, imagine he is like this short compared to her, 50 pounds overweight, kind of greasy hair, like, I don't know. Instantly, this character would be perceived completely differently. But just because it's Jude Law, somehow this behavior is excused. I don't know. I don't know. I really do not like him. He's not cute to me whatsoever. Not a good guy. Not a good guy. But this is the type of guy she needs. This is the type of man that she wants exactly, because the initiative comes from her. Again, it is the type of weak man who doesn't want any decisions, who has zero ambitions. He lives in some tiny town in London. She is again the super successful woman, versus some book editor, something like, or book critic, I don't remember who he is. He obviously has zero ambitions. He's completely satisfied. He's lucky to even have a house. I'm surprised. He probably inherited it from some grandparents or something. No way he made enough money to buy some property, because he is, again, zero ambitions type of a man. He's very passive. Not a single action he does in this movie, not a single step he takes. Every single initiative comes from Amanda, starting from their first meeting. She initiates sex for, again, whatever reason. For whatever reason. Very strange. Then he mentions, like, oh, I have a party, maybe you join. That's the only thing he actually initiates. Everything else she does herself. She decides if he goes in the house. She decides if she needs to meet his children. Without it, even that he wouldn't tell her. So every single thing, every single step in their relationship is done by Amanda, and only Amanda. And even at the end, all he does is he's quietly crying in the... He's not even taking her to the airport to, like, help with the bags. So that's how little he cares, and he will be completely fine. If she leaves and never calls back, he'll be fine. He will cry for a couple hours, and next Friday he'll be back in the bar. So I do not see any serious attachment on his side. You may argue with me, but sorry, not sorry. I don't see any initiative from him whatsoever. So interestingly, again, despite her being this successful business owner, she is probably a millionaire owning that house in Beverly Hills. She is a very successful Hollywood woman. But despite her success, he constantly puts her down in front of a man to get him into that trap. And then when he is in the relationship with her, this is when she will start pushing on him and telling him how he's not good enough and blah, blah, blah. But in the beginning, she drags him in by playing a weak woman. Yeah, like, oh, I didn't want to tell you. So she pretends that she is less than she is, instead of declaring her success that she built on her own. But no, because she's afraid to scare the immature, childish man with her success. The same stuff she says before they sleep for the first time. Why on earth does she say that she is bad in bed? Like, I am actually bad at sex. Like, what are you doing? And even worse, I don't know, even worse, Jude Law says, what do you think of a foreplay? Why is he saying that in the first place? It's a very strange thing to say from a man. And she says, well, overrated. And he's like, oh, amazing, you are so interesting. Which shows that he is bad in bed, because the man who doesn't understand the significance of the foreplay, it means he has no idea how women's bodies work, which is not surprising, because I assume he's just, the only experience he got was being drunk with different women. So I don't know. This is all very strange. On her side, I understand why she doesn't care about sex, because remember, she's detached from her body. From her body is like there is zero response. So to her, sex is probably this 5 minute just because the man needs it. And she probably like satisfies herself with some vibrator for 3 seconds in the shower, and that's it, like get it over with and run, do more trailers, dun, 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 dun. So to her, because her body is constantly in this rush mode, definitely there is no relaxing sexual experience for her. So for her, it's probably just one of the things that needs to be done, check marked, and over with. Because to her, it's no pleasure other than probably some super vibrating thing that kills all this natural sensitivity, and she probably can't have an orgasm without vibrators. So this is just what I'm assuming, again, knowing the background from this character. And Jude Law saying, like, foreplay is overrated. So I don't know. The only time they had any sexual relationship was like 3 out of 4 times. They were both crazy drunk. And I guarantee there was zero pleasure on her side. So I am not sure where it's all heading. So she is the adult there. She is the mom, this controlling dragon. She was probably this dragon mother in all the previous relationships. And obviously you can tell that in this relationship, she will again get into this role. So she will take the full control of his life. She will probably take him to LA. She will probably move the entire family, find the best schools for his daughters, find some job position for him through her connections. And at the end of the day, he will be the one complaining, like, you ruined my life. You took me from my London village next to London. So he, sooner or later, it will come back to what the movie started with. Probably him yelling from under the balcony after he cheats on her. I do not believe in this couple. Yeah, so the only way for them to continue is probably her taking the mother position and just controlling and telling him where to go, what to do. But the problem with this scenario is, again, very soon sex leaves this type of relationship where woman takes into control entirely. Unfortunately, sex life becomes like once a month, once in 2 months, and it becomes like 5-minute routine just for the sake of doing it. So usually sexless marriages start with these dynamics. So time to kind of wrap it up. A way out. First of all, some small daily practices, because she keeps rushing, and she unfortunately tries to fulfill this need of adrenaline, of drive, in wrong places. So people like Amanda, if you are you feel that you can relate to this, start some challenges for yourself. Every morning, a little challenge. So the first thing in the morning, you already you charge your battery a little bit. Like, damn, I did it. Amazing. Like 100 push-ups on time. So up to you what this challenge is. Sprint mode at work. No dragging, like thinking sluggishly. 25-minute timer and in a rush mode. But it should be limited. The problem with Amanda is that it's not limited. She is in the sprint non-stop. She can't stop, have a breather. No. So for her, it's important to create those sprints through workouts, through little work routines, but there must be a limit. So the workout is over and you are into this, yeah, you are relaxed, but must create those. In relationships, again, unfortunately, these people never ever look for the same type of people who love this. They like people who are slower, who are more dreamy, more romantic, and unfortunately they start again pushing, not beating physically, but dun, come on, let's go. Why are you so slow? You're dragging. So when these people are in stress, when the battery is low, unfortunately, they will leash out on their partner. So first of all, articulate this to your partner that you need drama, you need some action, you need drive. So communicate this, because it is not obvious for other people. These people are, I would say, like 5% of the population. So for everybody else, it's very hard. It's very hard to be with you. So if you can please explain to your partner, it's not obvious for them. It is not obvious. So dates should be, again, not just some random cafe that you go all the time, something new, something unexpected, something interesting. So keep those surprises coming. And in the arguments, these people will just drown you in the argument. They will eat you alive. So if you are like Amanda, know that that other person is probably weaker than you. So please find some stop word. And when you're feeling that you are about to eat them alive, just say, I'm overheating, I need 5 seconds, I'll come back. So just acknowledging it and keeping it in mind that you are like that, that's already the first step. Short trips, even if it's somewhere very close to your house, just change the scenery. You need this change. You need this change in pictures around you. So some skills that will bring adrenaline to your life. Again, some new types of sports, something like that. Maybe even video games, the ones that are very competitive, very kind of aggressive, stuff like that. Something that will create this idea of drive and adrenaline, but without a risk. And of course, therapy. Therapy. Unfortunately, people like Amanda very rarely end up in therapy because they think everything is amazing about them. And the outer world is proving it, reflecting it. They're very financially successful. They're, again, very attractive, charismatic. And in relationships, they think that everything is wrong with everybody else around them. And she probably thinks that she's super strong, that she's been through this hardship, so she grew up. So she thinks she can teach everybody how to live, and obviously she doesn't need any therapist, like I can teach that therapist what to do. So very rarely these people end up in therapy, and unfortunately this is exactly who needs it the most. She needs to recognize those patterns that were implemented into her through her childhood and learn to build this connection, learn the vulnerability. So she needs therapy. And specifically body-oriented therapy, learning step by step, slowly reconnect with your body. It might start with even like 3-minute meditation when you're not doing anything, where you're just in silence, no guided meditations, no music. You're literally silent, like quiet, zero sound and zero movement. To people like this, it's unbearable to do that. It's unimaginable. So for her, starting like that, starting with massages, but not for the sake of massage, but slow, learning to just feel your body again. Women like this even apply the cream like that. They do this and then like that, and she already runs away. So just learning slowly, like feeling every second of the day, be present, all those grounding techniques. Just what are you feeling? What is your right ear hearing? So all those small exercises is crucial for these people. It's very hard for them to slow down, but this is the way out. Oh, something is wrong with my, let me move it, and let me move myself to here, because guess what? We are done. We're done with this movie. I'm really curious if you agree with me or you don't agree. And just in general, what do you think of these characters, of this relationship of Amanda and Graham? Do you think they will have a happy ending? Or you are on my side in this? So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much. More movie analysis are coming. So see you next time. Bye bye.